Hold it!
Are you completely sure the murder weapon was the timekeeper? Aye, completely. The shape of the injury on the victim's head matches up with that of the timekeeper. It's definitely heavy enough to kill someone with. But would the defendant have been able to pick up and swing something so heavy? I tried it myself and I was able to lift it up just fine. Maybe you're just freakishly strong. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. I'll have you know that people on the forest know me as the dainty forensic investigator. Sorry, but really you're hardly a delicate flower. Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. Save your antics for after the trial if you know how. Yes, sir. It won't happen again, sir. Moving on.
Hold it!
The defendant was fighting back against the victim, right? If so, wouldn't she have hit him from the front and not the behind? The victim must have tried to run once Miss Wyatt started fighting back. That's probably why he got hit from behind. I see. Thus the blow to the back of his head. The defendant must have looked awfully scary when she was brandishing that clock. I don't know about that. Regardless of how scary it looked, the victim was definitely hit from behind. May I go on? Of course, please do.
Hold it!
But that's only because she was so panicked when she found the body. That she tried to use the timekeeper to go back in time.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, do you have any idea how absurd you sound? But Miss Wright really believed that she could travel back through time with that clock. You really should have come up with a more credible story, you know. Yes, I agree. Me free, but it's all I've got to go on. Anyway, under the circumstances, the only conclusion we can draw is that the defendant killed the victim.
Hold it!
Miss White must have had a chance to escape after she struck the victim the first time. So why would she stick around and hit him with such a heavy object again? Well, about that. Allow me to explain. Why did she strike him again indeed? To finish off the victim, of course. This very act clearly shows she had every intention of killing Mr. Gloomsbury. But Miss White would never do a thing like that. Then let's see some evidence that this proves my theory. Are you going to just stand there and take that from him, Nick? I can't refute his claim head on, so I have to approach it from a different angle. Well, looks like we won't be going anywhere until we can refute Edgeworth's claim. This is so exciting. We haven't taken on Mr. Edgeworth in ages. Yeah. Okay, Nick, now go get him. No need to rush me, Maya. Right, better start by comparing Emma's testimony with the evidence we have. And look for any glaring inconsistencies. Right. Let's see. Somebody else hit her from behind. Fell over into the lantern. Is that even possible? Fucking hell, the first cross-examination of the case and I'm already stumped.
Objection!
Glad I was on the right track. Detective Scott, I'm afraid I have to apologise in advance. For what? Embarrassing you in front of your idol. Well, what do you mean? If you take a look at this photo of the crime scene, you'll see the victim is lying on his back. Oh, okay. If the victim had been hit from behind as you claim, he should have fallen over into the lantern face down. Ah! It's not enough to simply take someone's side, Detective Sky, even if it is Mr. Edgeworth's. Oh. There does appear to be a flaw in Detective Sky's testimony. Mr. Wright, if you think I'm just going to back down, you're sadly mistaken. Emma's unusually fired up today. Don't forget she's in front of her hero, Nick. If there's still Samurai came to watch this trial, I'm going to do my absolute best too. Listen, Mr. Wright, it's entirely possible the defendant moved the victim's body after he fell over. In that case, there wouldn't be any contradiction, right?
Indeed, that was an excellent counter-argument, Detective.
You can count on me, sir. So what do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright? Is it possible the victim's body was moved after he fell into the lantern? Which one doesn't fuck me up? Not possible? But how do I prove it? Sorry, detectives, there's no way the victim's body was moved after his death. Oh, really? What makes you so sure? One look at this here, it should become obvious.
Take that!
What exactly are you pointing at, Mr. Wright? Oh, here we fucking go. This right here?
What you're trying to communicate isn't as obvious at all, Mr. Wright. This poundage will make my feelings on the matter pretty obvious, even to you.
The only thing that's obvious right now is the pain in my attorney's badge. Maybe you should adjust the pin then. What are we looking at here? Is it
Take that!
3? Yes. Those broken bits of lantern? Yes, if the body had been moved after the fact, these fragments would have fallen off it. As you can clearly see, they're lying perfectly undisturbed on top of the body. This means the victim must have been lying face up before the lantern even broke. You're right. But wait a minute, if that's true, then when was the victim killed? The lantern was still whole during the reception, right? Right. Which means we just overturned a major assumption about the case. If the victim was already dead before the lantern was even broken, then the body must have been inside the lantern since before the reception started. In other words, the defence asserts the victim was killed even before the wedding reception.
What?
In short, when Ms. Wyatt was seen standing in front of the body after the reception, it wasn't the moment just after the murder was committed. It was the moment she happened to discover the body, just as Ms. Wyatt claims.
Objection!
Whether the act was committed before or after the reception is entirely inconsequential. After all, it was the defendant who prepared the reception hall for the event in question. Therefore, when the murder occurred, changes nothing in regard to her guilt. She could have killed the victim before the reception, as you claim, and then tried to hide his body in the lantern when after the event ended.
Objection!
sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, where would the body have been hidden during the reception in this scenario?
That's...
Even you have to admit, Mr. Edgeworth, this has opened up a new possibility.
Do explain, Mr. Wright.
Well, if Miss White didn't commit the crime in the reception hall, that means someone, somewhere, put the victim's body into the lantern.
I suppose that makes sense. A dead body can't have put itself in there.
Exactly, Your Honour. In other words, if the murder actually occurred before the reception, it opens up the possibility that the defendant didn't commit this murder.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Even if the murder was committed before the reception, that alone doesn't erase suspicion against the defendant. It seems that was too ridiculous of a leap backwards for Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Wright. I suggest you look before you leap and think before you speak.
I guess I got ahead of myself on that one. If the body was hidden inside the lantern, it's possible the body was moved along with it from somewhere else. Oh, you're right.
You can run that mouth of yours all you want, but do you have any evidence to support what's coming out of it, Mr. Wright?
Of course I do. I think the answer lies in that piece of evidence, and in something that was left at the crime scene that will point us to where the victim was really killed.
Very well, Mr. Wright. In that case, what proves the landed and the body removed from somewhere else?
Take that!
Shit. This proves the murder took place somewhere other than the reception hall.
I'm afraid I can't say I follow.
That piece of evidence won't help you make your point, Nick.
You're another pointless piece of evidence from a senseless attorney.
Fine, if this piece wasn't convincing enough. There must be something else that would be easier for the judge to understand.
Take that!
No. I'm very confused. How is it not this photograph of them in the hold? Did I misclick or something?
Take that!
No, I didn't misclick. Right. Yeah, get on with it. And stay.
Take that!
No. diagram.
Take that! Take that!
Lantern itself.
Take that! Take that!
The photo of the victim again? Yes. I'd like the court to focus on this thing right here, oh, for fuck's sake. Petals, please.
Take that!
Flower petals, Mr. Wright. These petals from a kind of flower not present in the reception hall. This means they must have brought them into the lantern when it was somewhere else.
And just where do you propose this somewhere else to be, Mr. Wright?
I suppose this piece of evidence will tell us where the flower petals came from.
Take that!
Please take a look at the flowers in this picture of the hold. This still should have worked. But now you're gonna make me go the fucking long way around. Notice how the petals are of the same shape as the petals in the crime scene photo.
Yes, I see. They do look to be from the same kind of flower.
Objection!
Is that really all you've got? A flower is a flower is a flower. They're all the same. I'd hardly call what you presented compelling evidence. I'm afraid I couldn't disagree with you more, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave a flower this type to my lovely wife once when we were young. I can assure you there's a very meaningful and compelling evidence indeed. The soundness of my judgment in this matter is backed by nothing less than pure love. But, Your Honour...
Let it go, Mr. Edgeworth. It's clear you don't know much about flowers. Which is very fucking weird for Edgeworth. You'd think he'd know better. It's not like you have anyone to actually give any to, after all. Maybe you should study up on them just in case the opportunity presents itself. That was fucking nasty. Bit below the belt there, Phoenix.
This from the man who only knows the names of 3 types of flowers.
That's hardly relevant to the case at hand. The defence asserts it was highly probable the victim was killed in the hold. If the body was then placed in a lantern and moved to the reception hall for some reason, it would completely destroy the prosecution's case. You mean the body was... Yes, the victim's body was... inside the lantern during the entire beautiful wedding reception, while the defendant and her betrothed were celebrating their love.
Ah!
Objection!
Your smooth talk may work on His Honour, but it won't work on me.
What are you talking about now?
Take another look at all the evidence and soon you'll see what I mean.
wish you'd just tell me straight.
Detective Sky, I'm sure you've already figured out what I'm talking about, correct?
Of course, sir. Mr. Wright's the only one here who hasn't. Why'd you leave this to me, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, let's see what you can do. Detective Sky, please give your testimony to the court.
The victim could not have been killed before the reception. The autopsy report states the estimated time of death was after the reception. And the estimated time of death is correct. There's no way it could be wrong. Oh, really? It's not like we haven't had several cases where the time of death's been fucked with recently at all. It's clear Mr. Glorsbury was killed after the reception. And that completely contradicts your claim. I guess so.
Tell me you took at least a cursory glance at the autopsy report, Mr. Wright. It appears you've grown rusty since our last outing. May I suggest you go back and brush up on the basics?
Sure. Though I must say, you're cocky as ever, Mr. Edgeworth.
I beg your pardon.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? I'm just saying I'll go back to basics if that's what Mr. Edgeworth wants. I'll prove how badly he's underestimated me with a good old-fashioned cross-examination.
Very well. Let's see you put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Wright. Probably after another game over screen or two.
Hold it!
You sound pretty certain. You must have some solid grounds for making that claim, right? Of course I do. And you're going to feel silly when I show you what they are. Ready? Feast your eyes on this.
Hold it!
I've read the autopsy report too, you know. Then you don't need me to explain it to you, right? How there's no way the victim could have been killed before the reception, I mean? Detective Sky, I think you've overlooked something big. I have? Why don't you take another look at the evidence? But I already looked at all the evidence. Quite carefully too, have you know?
Detective Sky, do not be taken in by his verbal antics. He is simply bluffing, as always.
Right, sir.
Hold it!
Is it possible the culprit did something to obscure the real time of death? No, not in this case. There was no snow or anything to keep the body from decomposing. There's no fridge on the airship big enough to fit a body into. So you're already checked into that, I see. It all comes down to the estimated time of death, doesn't it? Couldn't the killer measure the victim's time of death by keeping the body on ice? Yeah, if they had the means to. The prosecution is treating the estimated time of death as an absolute. But is it really? I take it you don't think it is, huh, Nick? Wrong voice. In that case, we're going to have to find a way to convince them otherwise. Yeah, there's got to be a way somehow. Now, is it the fog machine? Or the photograph of the fog?
Objection!
It's the fog machine. Fuck it.
We'll start saying something anything time soon, Mr. Wright.
It's not speaking up at all, is it? Maybe it's being shy?
You haven't said nothing at all to this court. You try to attack this speaks volumes to you, defence.
Objection!
I admit the estimated time of death does contradict my theory. Finally! And that means your theory the victim was killed before the reception is still entirely plausible. Huh? What makes you say that? The killer could have falsified the time of death by using a certain item in the reception hall. Please take a look at this.
And what's that contraption, Mr. Wright?
It's a fog machine, Your Honour, used to create special romantic atmosphere in the hall.
And this machine could have been used to falsify the time of death?
Yes, Your Honour, because this machine uses dry ice to perform its magic.
Dry ice? Oh yes, the super cold stuff commonly used to make theatre fog, right? I see. Your claim is dry ice was used to keep the body cold.
Oh. In that case, I guess the victim could have been killed before the reception.
Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this development? That the victim was killed in the hall before the wedding reception? The prosecution acknowledges the possibility of the claim.
Now we're getting somewhere.
The prosecution would also like to thank you, Mr. Wright.
Huh? For what?
I didn't know how a certain piece of evidence fit into the case, but now, thanks to you, I do.
What piece of evidence?
To get into the hold, one needs a key card like this one. And here we have a record of those who entered the hold with such key cards. The times aren't specified, but these are the last 3 entries the day of the murder. And as you can see, the last person to enter the hold that day was the defendant.
What?
So the one who threw the body out of the hold must have been... That's right, none other than the defendant.
Hey Nick, look at this entry record. There's a couple of other names here beside Ellen's. Hey, you're right. According to the entry record, Mr. Edgeworth, Pierce Nickledy had also gone into the hold. Isn't it possible he could have been the culprit?
Objection!
Sorry, but Mr. Nickledy was escorting a few of the guests at the time. I'm sure they'd be happy to testify the fact if you like. Think me cocky all you'd like, Mr. Wright, but my confidence is really misplaced.
Ah.
Now then, it's probably safe to assume that after killing the victim in the hold, the defendant moved his body into the hall in order to dispose of it discreetly.
What do you mean by discreetly?
The defendant volunteered to take care of the reception's clean-up personally. That means she would have had the chance to dispose of anything in any way she wanted, including taking the lantern off the airship without raising any suspicion. Don't tell me you didn't know about Miss Wyatt volunteering for clean-up duty, Mr. Wright. Look at you sweating buckets like a rookie, even after all these years. Nonetheless, thank you for proving the only person who could have killed the victim in the hold is Ellen Wyatt. Ah! Great job, Phoenix. Now we're back at square one. Perhaps you should ask Miss Sykes for some help in reviewing Defense for Dummies.
Excuse me. Way to go, sir. You got Mr. Wright in a cold sweat.
I wonder if maybe the promise of seeing that miserable look on his face is what brought me back to court today. It certainly made all of my stress and Rose as chief prosecutor just melt away.
I guess he had a lot of stress built up. I'll give him something to stress over before we're through today.
Your Honour, the prosecution asks you render the verdict at this time, before the man over there tries to throw the court into chaos with meaningless bluffs. I see. Mr. Wright, are there any last meaningful bluffs you'd like to present to this court?
Why does he have to assume it'll be a bluff? Nick, hurry up and throw a good one out there. I will. Well, alright then. Let's see. I've got it. How do you know it was Miss Wyatt who used the key card? After all, if it turns out somebody else used her card, it would mean Miss Wyatt didn't do it.
Interesting. And are you able to prove this bluff to be true?
I assure you I'm not bluffing, Your Honour. Well, now what? Wait a minute, Nick. I can think of a certain somebody who might have used Ellen's key card. You can? Remember? The one who was sneaking around the hole in spite of not being a family member? Oh, that's right. Your Honour, the defence would like to call a certain witness to the stand. I need the testimony of this person who may have entered the hole with Miss Wyatt's card.
Take that!
That's your witness? Are you saying that numbskull was on the airship? He never breathed a word about that to me.
That's not surprising, because Mr. Nickledy told him to keep quiet about it. But Mr. Butts himself admitted it to me. He claimed to have found a way to sneak onto the Flying Chapel's hold to see Miss Wyatt. This photo he took and gave me is proof.
Then it was he who moved the lantern with the body inside the reception hall?
You know me. You know as well as I that with him anything's possible. And this is one possibility we should definitely look into.
I can't believe this. What in the world is he doing mixed up in all this?
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Remember what we've been saying since elementary school?
When something smells, it's usually the butts.
Exactly.
Oh, that Larry. He'll pay for this.
Well, if you want to extract your payment now, he's right up there in the gallery. Yikes!
Bailiff! Seize that witness before he makes a run for it!
No! Why does this stuff always happen to me? Sorry, Larry, but you brought this on yourself. Yes, you fucking did.
Let us break for a 15-minute recess.
I ask both sides prepare for the next witness testimony during this time. Wow, been a while since I've had this much fun and excitement. A face-off against Mr. Edgeworth, a harrowing tightrope walk for the defence. I'm exhausted already. Boss! I'm here for moral support. Athena, are you all done practicing for Trucy's magic show? Well, to be perfectly honest, I sort of ran away. That's because she was putting my life in danger, I tell you. I see. I think I need to have a one-on-one with her. You're really athletic and fit, Athena, so Trucy probably thinks she can run you ragged. That may be true, because not even Trucy can keep up with me when I run at full speed. Looks like you spoke too soon, Athena. Never underestimate the resourcefulness of a great magician. Huh? Magical girl Trucy Wright is on the scene. No! And now, Athena, time to practice human combustion magic. Go on, douse yourself in this gasoline. But don't worry, it's a magic trick after all, so it's perfectly safe. Run away! Hey, you're not getting off that easily. They get along so well, don't they? It reminds me of the good old days. You, me and Pearly. And Detective Gumshoe, can't forget him. Gumshoe. Oh, we miss you, buddy. We had all kinds of fun at the crime scenes back then, remember? Leaving me to do all the serious investigating, as I recall. Court will soon be back in session, Mr. Wright. Alright, thank you. So Larry's the next witness, right? Can't wait to see what happens. Sadly, I can already imagine it.